Another convicted sex offender being placed on supervised release from the state secure treatment facility is moving into a state-rented home in Green Bay, but this time the placement won't cost taxpayers any excessive money in rent. That's because of changes being made by the Department of Health Services following a Fox 11 Investigates report exposing the high rental costs. But is it enough? Well, not according to one area lawmaker. For Fox 11 Investigates, Mark Leland continues to follow the story and brings us the latest developments.
Convicted sex offender Chester Flowers will be released from Sandridge Treatment Center in Mauston on Wednesday. His treatment there following prison time makes him eligible for supervised release at taxpayers' expense.
This is the Green Bay home where Flowers will live. The neighborhood has already been notified of that, and he won't be living here alone. You see, for the past several years, the state has been renting this place to house another sex offender on supervised release. So the two will live here together at no extra cost. But the state is paying $1,800 a month for this place. That's 2 to 3 times what neighbors of similar-sized homes are paying.
In our report last year, Fox 11 Investigates uncovered several homes where the state paid inflated rents to house sex offenders. It prompted a state audit with recommendations made to the Department of Health Services to cut costs.
One of the reasons that they're now shaping up a little bit is because of the expose you put out on your station.
State Senate President Mike Ellis pushed for that audit after becoming aware of Fox 11 Investigates' findings. Those findings were confirmed by the audit, and this week Ellis received the DHS response to the Audit Bureau's money-saving recommendations.
Overall, it's a start, but it's still not the solution.
Here is what DHS is doing. DHS has come up with a written policy to seek out potential rentals. Among the written stipulations, make efforts to secure monthly rentals closer to fair market value and include utilities and maintenance costs. The state currently pays extra for those at taxpayer expense. DHS has also issued a bid for proposals to find other property owners who might be willing to rent to the state. And existing landlords were contacted in an effort to renegotiate current leases. That effort was unsuccessful.
I contacted a Green Bay landlord by phone who has rented 3 homes to the state, including this one. At first, William Travis said he did renegotiate the contracts with the state, but when questioned further, he said, "We're done here," and he hung up.
Ellis says to eliminate price gouging by landlords and save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, the state needs to own its own rentals, a suggestion he raised last year.
I don't see that.
They didn't consider it.
Well, that's one of the points that we're upset about.
Ellis believes competition is the only thing that will drive down rental costs, and the state may have to be that competition.
And I'll bet you the minute we get into the housing business, these people who are not willing to negotiate are going to lose their sugar daddies.
I spoke with Jason Cram, who heads up the supervised release program last fall as he worked to address the audit recommendations.
What we're looking for is a firm, or multiple firms would be great if we could accomplish it, if we could get that, who could provide the services that we need across the entire state of Wisconsin.
Since then, DHS has also made more of an effort to put 2 sex offenders in homes previously occupied by just 1. Last year, 3 out of 28 rentals had 2 roommates. When Flowers moves into this Green Bay rental, there will be 7 homes housing 2 sex offenders. DHS officials didn't want to talk to us about the changes. They referred Fox 11 Investigates to the written response to the Joint Legislative Audit Committee. In it, Secretary Rhodes states, the DHS will continue to ensure that the supervised release program protects Wisconsin's most vulnerable citizens and promotes community safety while it continues to identify and implement ways to reduce overall program costs. DHS indicates through doubling up sex offenders, it has been able to eliminate 2 leases this year, saving nearly $40,000 in rent.
The response has been, we are now saving some money, but
Yes.
You're saying it could be a lot more.
It could be a lot more, and it should be a lot more. This is why state government is, to a large extent, inefficient.
Ellis plans to question DHS officials and why they haven't considered his proposal to purchase properties to just cut out the middleman. He says if necessary, he will push for legislation to require it. For Fox 11 Investigates, I'm Mark Leland.
Tomorrow, Mark will examine efforts by the Department of Health Services to reduce what it pays when it comes to monitoring and chaperoning the convicted sex offenders on supervised release. We'll see what he has uncovered then.